before coming to Ireland, had a very good series in Sri Lanka. And today they have the opportunity to leapfrog them. They go on to win this game.
Yes, and it was interesting to see that Sri Lanka were beaten by Scotland at the weekend and then delivered counter and killer blow, trouncing them 2 days later. Again, this is why we enjoy this game so much, these little phases, these little passages of play that you get in this format of one-day cricket.
You see the change of pace from Henry. And that's the tactics used very well by New Zealand bowlers. That's the end of the over. 31 overs gone. Bangladesh 162 for 4.
Oh, God. And there's the evidence. Bangladesh in 91 points, Sri Lanka just ahead of them on 93. Now, again, interestingly, Patel bowling to a slip. Extra cover in tight. That's a good shot from Shakib. But again, for anyone out there, Monroe cutting down the angle. That was the most important thing he did there. No chance of two. And again, I'm sure New Zealand will be very conscious that Shakib hasn't had form in this series. Applying some pressure. Again, nicely controlled. Rahim.
Bit of paddle sweep, bit of innovation by Mushfiqur.
I often wonder always at the stage of the, and I say we say control and those sorts of things, but I just often wonder why at this stage would you potentially bring that type of risk into the equation, if there is such a thing.
How do you view it? It's, for me, that's not a bad shot. I know there's pressure on them, but that's the ability to maneuver the ball into gaps. You have to do that in one-day international cricket. You can't play straight back shots, because straight back shots are just going to get you into trouble in terms of just going to hit the ball to the fielders. So you've got to be able to maneuver the field regardless of the match situation.
I often wonder that always in the sense of watching Kohli bat over the out, you rarely see him play those type of shots. But look, you know, if you have it and you do them and you do them well, I obviously completely agree. And pressure being piled on, it's building up, and that's the end of the 30 seconds. As we have time for a Ghazi group drinks break.
The atmosphere, the energy, the spectacle, that's part of it. Then there's the adrenaline, the nerves, anticipation, expectation. This is ours, our heritage, our game. The players feel it, and we feel it too. It's in us all. Your tickets are waiting now. The GAA Hurling Championship. Be there all the way.
3 seconds can be an eternity. The smallest mistake can cost you victory. And 27 meters is all that separates you from triumph. Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series. Finish more Saturday, June 24th. Watch live on redbull.tv.
The word free may have lost its
for €70 a month for the first 12 months and get a lot for free. A free 4G mobile plan with unlimited data, calls and texts for a whole year, and a free iPhone SE to enjoy it, plus free Air Sport and BT Sport. Yes, we made free epic again. Get Ireland's favourite broadband and so much more. Call 1-800-500-300, go in store or visit air.ie.
A lawnmower option could be a good idea. Yeah, could be. That's RT ruined. But in the new Dacia Sandero, we opted for a rear view camera instead. You know, because it's actually useful. The new Dacia Sandero, available this 172 with zero deposit required and 4.9% APR. Dacia, you do the maths.
Early in the day, New Zealand accumulated 270, but after the initial huge partnership between Broome and Latham, would have been looking at an excess of 300. Bangladesh in reply, very tricky period of wobble for them. Maybe you'll bring it through it, Awais.
Yeah, well, this is where it all started. Tammy Iqbal taking a shot on which was probably not required, followed by a huge mix-up between Sabir, where both the batters ended up at the same end. And then there's a good bit of bowling by Jiten Patel. Got a bit of purchase off the wicket, hitting the batsman straight in front. So that's where we're at. 107 required of 108 balls, just under 6 and over.
So, Awais, we had this discussion the previous time. Where would your money be now?
Probably still fancy Bangladesh, just with their experienced batters. Shakib's played a lot of cricket, so has Mashfiqur. And you like to think they're still in it.
Oh, I think without a doubt, they're definitely in it. And I thought, you know, we were commenting towards the end that the contribution by Rubel Hussain, these are moments that when you look back in games like these sorts of things, it's easy at the end of the innings to drift, but there was no drifting from him. So beautifully balanced here. Bangladesh 164 for 4 as Henry resumes. And again, New Zealand's tight infielders trying to create that little bit of a squeeze.
The secret for Bangladesh is not to panic. I know there are two new batters at the wicket. They just got to take their time. They both have got the game to catch up at the end. It's important to develop a partnership. Once they can get that going, it's always the last power play to come where they can really accelerate and go through the gears.
And bearing in mind Shakib's form through this series, you were New Zealand's captain now. Would you be squeezing him a little bit more, trying to get him to force? Obviously, we're looking at 5 inside the circle. Would you look to possibly squeeze someone else in?
Yes, for sure. I'll definitely be trying to put the pressure on the Bangladeshi batsmen, especially someone like Shakib, who's short on runs right throughout the series. I'm trying to make him take a higher risk shots on, and in doing that, perhaps they could get him out.
To be fair to Bangladesh, that was something they did in Nishan again, 3 off 11 now. Tells its own story. He's been struggling. And again, from a New Zealand perspective, once they get this run rate up around 7s and 8s, nibble away with the odd wicket, it becomes more a challenge for Bangladesh, who were in such an unassailable position till Tamim, and judiciously decided that he was going to take on the infield. our outfielders.
But this is where someone like Shakib needs to really tap into his experience. I know we say that he's an experienced player, but what that means is he's got to remind himself the game becomes a lot easier the longer he spends time out there. Longer he's out in the middle, he can put things right. So it's important not to rush, not to play a rash shot early in his innings, and just be patient. Things will improve as the game goes on.
Yeah, that's clever. And that's good advice. Oais at the end of the 33rd over with Bangladesh 166 for 4. So another change. Santner returning at the Minister end, replacing Jeet Patel. Probably hasn't bowled at his best in this game. 6 overs costing 37 runs. But vital stage now for his team. Again, Shakib, you can see he's getting increasingly frustrated. Away, bottom hand coming in there. Run rate gradually creeping up. Secret here for Santner is to bring Rahim forward. Very good cover of the ball. Again, taking pace off the ball, away, bringing Rahim forward.
Yeah, I think that's very important, not to become predictable for Santner. He's got to try and change the pace. Make it as difficult as possible for the batsman to knock the ball into gaps. It doesn't look like they're looking for boundaries, it's just looking to rotate strike. So with that, you can't afford to be predictable. You've got to constantly change the pace. Rabbit Hole app is coming soon. The first sports entertainment brand from Bangladesh. This match is being broadcast live on the Rabbit Hole YouTube channel.
And that's the end of the 34th. Bangladesh 170 for 4.
The honest player gets up in the morning and looks himself in the mirror and says, I'm going to get better, I'm going to get better, I'm going to get better.
Be prepared for anything from front line to back with the Gillette Fusion range.
Jeremy Coney gets himself set, tucks himself down, and he's joined by the wonderful John Mooney for the next passage of play.
Don't get too carried away about that, John. Shot was better.
I've just slipped him a quick 20 on the way out the door. Thank you for that, Lewis.
Just a little shimmy, wasn't it? Saw the line, and the length happened to be there. I targeted that boundary better today. You can see early on Henry's idea is to target the stumps and be full. Hasn't quite found the hole yet, you know, that up by the batsman's feet, the Yorker. Makes it very hard to get underneath. Sometimes the batsman will work deeper in the crease there that we saw and will actually ramp it over. But it's still a difficult stroke to play. You miss that in some way, that little ramp, and then you're palpably LBW. So there is an element of risk attached with the stroke.
Yeah, and the New Zealanders will have done their homework on Mushfiqur. They know that he likes to play that little ramp shot. That opens up long off for him, and as you saw, he punished.
Yes. Even Colin Munro wasn't convinced himself he could get to that. It was too straight. They're pleased in the bleachers.
Drop the length there, Shakib, quick to pick up the length, pulls it 25 metres in front of the square. Like you said, the fielder, even the fastest of the fast couldn't get to that.
Wow. Bangladesh, it's 35 overs gone, 182 for 4. 17th match that Bangladesh have played New Zealand away from home. Never beaten them. So there's the comparison between the two sides. New Zealand have picked up one extra wicket, but don't forget, straight after the 40th over, New Zealand lost 3. Bang, bang, bang. And so New Zealand need to keep up picking wickets here. They've got the experienced Shakib, Bangladesh, just manoeuvring and manipulating the ball around. Hasn't scored a lot of runs. As he said earlier today, actually, when I spoke to him, it hasn't been a great tournament for Shakib. So has he got the chance today here to just correct that? Bowled decently. Now Mushfiqur, another experienced player. Oh, he's got the cutaway just to the right, but then it's good work out there on the boundary. I think that's Nisham. Yeah, he's got a good strong arm.
Yeah, nice cut shot. Rocks back, uses the crease. Potentially could have been 2, but Nisham quickly gets his body around it. Gets away fast.
New Zealand have just got to keep chipping away, and this is going to be a tight game. The required rate has just shimmied up a little to 6 now, you can see. Around about the time now that New Zealand lost Latham and Brew. Centre onto that is good off his own bowling. Just 2 from this over. He needs, if he can't take wickets, he needs to build pressure. Just a little bit of room, but that's nicely played by Shakib. 36 overs now, 184 for 4. New Zealand.
Experience the purest meaning of links golf at Corbless Links on North Dublin's pristine coastline. Play through rugged coastal dunes, marvel at breathtaking sea views on a course considered a gem by top100golfcourses.com. Visit Corbless Links for excellent value golf. Book now at corblesslinks.com.
Activity round about this period of the game for both sides. 2 of those little dots are New Zealand, and 3 are Bangladesh. It's close, isn't it? And look at those ones ahead, just for England, around the corner of 40 overs.
And Bangladesh won't mind falling a bit behind, just a slight bit behind here now, as long as they have the wickets in hand. And if that run rate pushes up to about 7, they won't be too concerned, just as long as they have those 6 wickets in hand. Anything above that, I think, is going to be a bit of a struggle for the Bangladeshis.
It's all they've got to do like that, really. Now, Nisham was expensive earlier, 3 overs for 20. Somehow he's got to change that. I think you'll find here Bennett. So he has 6. He's got 4. So he's bowled well there. 6 overs, just 3s, and then Santner at 5 and Patel at 5 as well. Henry, I thought, had been a wee bit more expensive, but just under 5. So there's options there. Not sure whether Anderson will be used or not.
I think what Latham is doing here, he's recognised the 2 guys that are in are probably playing a bit of risk-free stuff at the minute. Potential to just get a couple of overs out of Nisham here and maybe get him in for 1 or 2 and then hold Bennett and the guys back for later on in the innings.
Slower ball. Ball bobble, but Santner does okay. That's his piece. And also, we've got a good chance. And his side certainly do have. Hooker kept the balance with the knee raised and just brushed it away in the last ball of the Nisham over. 192 for 4. wide road is still handy for Bangladesh. 79 from 78. Patel. And Shakib is very difficult to keep quiet. He's just finding gaps in the field. Patel won't want that because he'd like to bowl at Shakib, being the left-hander, and Shakib now he's got an idea.
I think it's a nice situation for the batsmen because they know exactly what they have to do. Whereas if they were setting here, you'd be expecting big shots. So they can afford to just knock it around, take their singles.
Just like that from Mushfiqur. And the gaps for the left-hander now. Shakib has just won around that point. There's a little one on the leg side if he gets just too straight. One straight down the ground to long off. He tries to go finer and he beats Bennett on the inside and takes to the short boundary. Clever.
Bowler's not happy. Looks like a tickish outside edge, but he has played it late and opened the face as well. Shakib. Bit of extra pace on that one from the spinner, and it is a thick outside edge and 4 runs. It runs away to the short boundary.
Yeah, well, the finer it goes, the quicker it runs. Yeah, very important. Broome does that sort of work. He's got cover to his left at long off and to his right at sweeper. So he's just got to go at them, see if he can get there. Yeah, that's him again.
And I think just looking at that, with the pace taken off it, seems to be an awful lot more difficult for the batsman to score. Shakib looking to hit behind square a lot, so Patel taking the pace off makes the batter have to come after him.
Comes down 3 in a row to Broome. And that finishes the 38th over. Nearly 200, 198 for 4.
Experience the purest meaning of links golf at Cobblers Links on North Dublin's pristine coastline. Play through rugged coastal dunes, marvel at breathtaking sea views on a course